So a big question on everyone's mind, and a big question I see get thrown around a lot in CSGO, is why do women have their own leagues? And if you're unaware, these women who play CSGO, they have their own leagues. It's called the Women Division, I believe, or something similar to that. And they have their own version of the majors. They have their own tournaments, but they can also compete in the men's division, which is pretty much the division for everyone. And the teams you see play like Fnatic, Cloud9, the women can compete in these leagues, but currently there are no good women teams to be able to compete at that level. The best team for women right now is arguably CLG Red, and they currently compete in ESEA main. They just recently got out of ESEA IM, and if anyone knows, if you're a pro team, ESEA main isn't that great. It is 2 levels below the professional level for just about everyone. A little bit of backlash has come out because CLG Red has gotten their own gaming house, and they are paid salaries pretty much to play the game. And a lot of people argue that they're not good enough to be at this point and that they really don't deserve it. And I guess you could argue that because they're not as good as a lot of these professional men playing the game who, you know, aren't really getting paid and are, you know, actually better than these people. But the reason this is, and the reason they have their own leagues, is because Counter-Strike, as a whole, pretty much, they want to bring in more women into the game. And they give women their own leagues and they let them play there, because if they were to play the professional level at, like, let's say, Kaluge, they would get absolutely stomped and it just wouldn't be fair. So what they do is they give these women their own leagues so they can win prizes, and what ends up happening from there is it brings more women into the game because they can see they can compete with other women and, you know, win money, so it brings in more women. The whole thing, in my opinion, is kind of fucking ridiculous. If you can't compete at the level of someone else, you don't really deserve to get paid like that person. It seems pretty ridiculous just for the sheer fact that they're women, that, you know, they're getting paid more because they're winning women-only competitions, where if men were allowed in, they would not even place, it seems like. It's kind of ridiculous, the fact that they're getting their own house, they're getting these salaries. I have no problem with this, though, because it does make sense from a business standpoint. It makes sense in the way that they are marketable, and they are, of course, the best women team, so, of course, they would be marketable. The fact that they're going to get paid these decent salaries to play the game and continue on playing. I think the problem, though, with only having women-only leagues and women-only tournaments is the sheer fact that when these women do play against men, they're gonna get stomped. And the reason they're gonna get stomped is because they're not really striving to play with the top men teams in CSGO. They don't really have to. All they can do pretty much is compete and stomp the women division, which really isn't that good. As more women do get into the game, hopefully this will kind of be abolished for the sheer fact it won't be needed anymore. But right now, we're going to see no women team that is going to be able to compete with a top team like Fnatic anytime soon. And that is because they surely don't have to. They can be inadequate at the game and still make money. And that's the bottom line for a lot of people. A lot of people play for money. They're not playing for the glory of being the very best in the world. They're not worried about that. As long as they can stomp the women division and keep making money, then everything will be fine. So I think that's the problem with the women division, and that's the reason women will never be as good as a team like Fnatic if they keep having these leagues that they can just easily stomp. Because like I said, if you got rid of this, they would have to compete at the same level of men, and they would probably practice more, and they probably would be able to do that. But those are just my opinions. Tell me yours in the comments down below. What do you think about the women-only division? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it's a thing? Do you think it's a thing? It's obviously a fucking thing. Do you think it should be a thing? Tell me in the comments down below. And if you've liked this video, how about you hit that like button? And if you dislike this video for some odd reason, how about you hit that dislike button? And if you're new, how about you subscribe? And this video does reach 200 likes, we upload the next one. So be sure to smash that like button. But yeah, guys, this has been The Chosen One Inc. And as always, peace out.